it was not about overthrowing the church and kicking out the monarchy. It was about overthrowing humanity and making themselves God. And by the 1850s, they'd hired most of the top scientists to come up with plans to totally take over society and re-engineer it. And that's what this is. And now California is set to pass a bill, just like the one they passed last year, to forcibly inoculate your children without your knowledge. I mean, that is total assault. That is totally illegal. That is, I don't care if you pass a law. I mean, that is tyranny. It isn't just going to stop with highway checkpoints and hands down the pants. It's not going to just stop with inoculations of your children. It got thrown out of federal court 3 years ago, but California lower courts ruled the parents are no longer the guardians, and when your child is in public school, that you cease to be the guardian and the state is now the guardian, even when your child's out of school. And that homeschooling is illegal because parents are not allowed to be guardians. And it did get overthrown. It did get overturned. But I'm telling you, man, look, these people are hardcore scientific authoritarians. And they mean business. Now, they've got armies of pedophiles that work for them because they're given access to children. They've got other criminal groups. They've got different brigades of different types of crime groups that they can destroy whenever they want, that they can blackmail, who are given access. You want drugs, you want money, you want power, you want to torture people, you want to rape children. They've got different brigades, but their strongest brigade is the potbelly pedophile brigade. And it's just an archetype. It's a potbelly pedophile brigade. Or the butch pedophile sadomasochistic torture brigade. They've got that brigade. They've got the mercenary brigades. They've got the torture brigades. They've got the control freak brigades. They've got the Dudley Do-Right danger brigades who actually think they're doing good and are so stupid they just worship authority. That's another dangerous brigade we face. And it's a psych warfare thing on HBO. I mean, I don't even watch mainline television. Anytime my wife watches it, she's just like, my gosh, it's all anti-family. It's all get abortions, kill babies, world government, take vaccines, arrest those that don't. And cops watch TV where they arrest people who don't take vaccines in dramas. There's no law, but then they simulate it. So when they're taking your kid, they're like, well, I mean, the sitcoms, the dramas. Folks, I'm talking over the years, we've identified dozens and dozens of cases on shows without even looking where they take kids for not taking vaccines. And so it must be in hundreds. I mean, the point is they simulate and show you things that aren't real, and then everyone follows it. This is called mind control. This is mind control. They've got 110,000 plus U.S. active duty combat on psychotropics that they know is causing them to kill people and their families, and epidemics of suicides. The drug inserts they give troops for being depressed says will cause suicide. Can cause suicide. I mean, that's what I mean. It's like children on HBO with giant sexual organ toys with candy and drinks in them with the children. I mean, it is so sick, man. This is how pedophiles get kids in cars, is with candy. And they've got kids with candy and soft drinks, drinking it out of giant artificial male sex organs. I just, and again, it's going to get crazier and crazier and crazier. This is a total assault on humanity. And then I read the media and they're like making fun of conservative and Christian groups that think this is bad. And I'm telling you, folks, I don't want violence in this country. I've done everything I can to try to stop it and try to turn things back. But do not try to come and give my children inoculations secretly, or if they were in a government training camp. And they want to bankrupt the economy, which they've done, so you basically have to have them in there. The, quote, free education paid for with the property tax that turned us all into renters on our own property. We didn't have that until 60 years ago. Churches weren't 501c3 until 60 years ago or so. It's a total overthrow of everything. But do not get around my children, you pedophiles, and don't try to shoot anybody up. Let me tell you, you think you're all dug in and you know you're starting to fight with us, so the cops are all in body armor and armored vehicles? That's not going to mean anything when you mess with people's kids, okay? And you enforcers out there need to decide what side you're on, man, because it could not be clearer how ridiculous this is. I don't think we have HBO on our Dish network out in the country, and we don't even really use it. We should just cancel it. It's incredibly clear. Hi, it's nice HD. It's good to watch science programs with my kids, but that's always got some anti-human brainwashing in it. Everyone should dump HBO. I mean, in fact, I'm calling for a boycott of it right now, but that's not enough. They should, I don't care if they say it's a comedy show. They have real children who they got their parents, I guess, who want to be stars or whatever, and stuck them in this, and they need to be arrested, okay? They were trying to train children and desensitize them and associate candy with, they are ruining these. This is illegal. 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 And I just, again, they're pushing us. They want the fight. They want the fight. And, you know, once the fight starts, it's going to be indiscriminate. Because let me tell you something. You either better join the Republic if this thing goes physical, or you better get ready for punishment and judgment. That's all I can say, because let me tell you, you're a part of this system. When all this stuff goes down, all the bankers sit offshore, because they're not going to stop. The crimes this system commits against us. All right, I said I'd take calls. I'll take calls for about 40 minutes. I'll try to shut up. And then I'll get into all the other news. I haven't even got into it yet. Huge earthquakes increasing. I've got the numbers. Big economy news, big high-tech news, North Korea news. I didn't even cover this yesterday. It's such big news. The Washington Post came out and admitted that Bilderberg is choosing vice presidential candidates. So they've gone from saying it doesn't exist in the Washington Post for 60-plus years, being at all the Bilderberg meetings, the Graham family, and saying it didn't exist, to now just admitting that they choose VPs. See, they're coming out in the open. Yeah, Bilderberg runs things. And yeah, we're going to teach kids that pedophiles can have their way with them. I mean, it's just like, what? Yeah, world government's taken over. Yeah, we took that guy's land for Agenda 21. He's dead now. And don't try to go in the city council building. So, it's a psyop to just totally blow us away. And it's not having that effect on me. You got to do a banner hang. You got to write websites on the Federal Reserve money. You've got to get a bullhorn out today. You've got to do whatever you got. You got to make a splash in a peaceful but aggressive way. Because the inability to make some sacrifices now, there was some other report about a cop getting attacked by some guy and shot, and people watched the fight go on for like 10 minutes. It didn't help the police officer. And that's because people see the police now as not their friends, even though in most cases that's not the case. The system hasn't fully warped the police yet on average. That's why they're trying to create the TSA as this new whole cloth thing, you know, where they have no training and just do one thing, follow orders. But I see it everywhere now where people are raped in broad daylight, hurt, run over in front of hundreds of people. No one helps them. And it's because they've turned people into just these spectating, emasculated, wussified little jellyfish creatures who just bumble around like mole rats or something on parade. Simply put, evil has been released into the world at a level never before seen. And, and I can feel it and I can see it intellectually. We're about to take the plunge. And I'm going to tell you again, ladies and gentlemen, appeasing this is not going to make your life get better, okay? America had half the wealth in the world, almost 5% of the population, not because we were perfect, but because our forebears were mean and aggressive and independent and would not be pushed around and would rather die than be a slave. And so we bathed in wealth and power. And so we became the center of the New World Order because it took us over knowing it was the engine. And now we are rotting. America is a rotting corpse of the old republic. And people are now seeing the maggots spill out, and the guts are all blown up and swollen, and the stench, and the global banker vultures are eating our flesh. But a republic is not an individual. It's an idea. It's a system. It can rise again. All right, that's enough. Robert in Texas, you're on the air. First caller of the day. Welcome.
Thanks for having me on. First off, I'm pretty sure that missile that North Korea launched was shot down. I'd be willing to bet that somebody shot it down with a laser.
Yeah, they got lasers. They can have C-130s, 50 miles away and do it. They've also got mirror refractors on the satellites. And I meant to say that I've talked to some of the people involved in Star Wars, and every time North Korea tries to shoot one, it now blows off shortly after it leaves the tarmac.
Well, I have a pretty good source from ex-Department of Energy who tells me that we got stuff that makes all conventional weaponry out there obsolete. So, and
again, the bankers have that. Yeah, they have particle beams, but just the chemical lasers they admit they have on drones and in those DC-10s are amazing.
Well, once they roll it out and tell people about it, then you can pretty much bet it's in itself obsolete and there's something better that they have.
It's at least 50 years old, yeah, chemical lasers on aircraft is at least from the 1950s, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, if you are in South Central Texas area, there's a Freedom Bash coming up to support We Are Change. It's at the Happy Cow in New Braunfels. I have the address and the map for it.
Very exciting. Okay, give us a website. Okay, what's the website?
It's on funkmaster5.com. The map and the address there. Come support We Are Change. There's live music, food, and beer.
Very exciting. That sounds evil, though. They may have to send some FBI agents to that. People congregating, wanting to get America back, and We Are Change exposing Al Gore. This is horrible. This is extreme. This is terrible. But the media says it's okay to show 5- and 6-year-old girls engaging in simulated sex acts. And man, I go to the mall every once in a while and I see billboards and it's looks like 10-year-olds half naked with these different clothing lines, and I'm like, man, I like their clothes. I can't buy this now. I mean, it's so, they know if they can get you, if they can screw you up. First, they tell you there is no morals. That's a big lie, ladies and gentlemen. There's basic code of what makes society successful. And the thing is, we're going to break. I'm going to come back with more calls. We're going to go to KJ, Joseph, Fred, Mike, and others. And NASA says they've proven life on Mars. You know, what he just mentioned, you know, the advanced technologies. That's why the elites are so crazy. And now they're just trying to dumb us down and get us addled and confused to the point where we won't organize resistance when they release a genetically engineered bioweapon that will kill over 90% of us. They're just getting us ready to kill us. I hope you know that. All right, I'm going right back to your calls here in a moment, and I'll go at least to the bottom of the hour before I get to a bunch of other news that I've mentioned we need to drill down into. Just incredible developments dealing with the Bilderberg Group and Mitt Romney. And the Washington Post admitting it, a bunch of big news on earthquakes. Is it tied to fracking? Is it underground railways being built, causing all those big booms and earthquakes in Wisconsin? That is all coming up, a special report on that front. But open phones today. Just briefly, if you want the best gravity-fed filter system that we found anywhere, it's ProPure. And we promote it and sell it at Infowars.com. Stacked up against the leading competition, there is no comparison. It is heads above the rest. It's just an excellent system. We've got all 4 of the systems available at Infowars.com. We already have it discounted at the lowest price anywhere. Check it out for yourself for ProPure at Children. They've got other criminal groups. They've got different brigades of different types of crime groups that they can destroy whenever they want, that they can blackmail, who are given access. You want drugs, you want money, you want power, you want to torture people, you want to rape children. They've got different brigades, but their strongest brigade is the potbelly pedophile brigade. And it's just an archetype. It's a potbelly pedophile brigade. Or that is total assault. That is totally illegal. That is, I don't care if you pass a law. I mean, that is tyranny. It isn't just going to stop with highway checkpoints and hands down the pants. It's not going to just stop with inoculations of your children. It got thrown out of federal court 3 years ago, but California lower courts ruled the parents are no longer the guardians, and when your child is in public school, that you cease to be the guardian and the state is now the guardian, even when your child's out of school. And that homeschooling is illegal because parents are not allowed to be guardians. And it did get overthrown. It did get overturned. But I'm telling you, man, look, these people are hardcore scientific authoritarians. And they mean business. Now, they've got armies of pedophiles that work for them because they're given access to butch pedophile sadomasochistic torture brigade. They've got that brigade. They've got the mercenary brigades. They've got the torture brigades. They've got the control freak brigades. They've got the Dudley Do-Right danger brigades who actually think they're doing good and are so stupid they just worship authority. That's another dangerous brigade we face. And it was not about overthrowing the church and kicking out the monarchy. It was about overthrowing humanity and making themselves God. And by the 1850s, they'd hired most of the top scientists to come up with plans to totally take over society and re-engineer it. And that's what this is. And now California is set to pass a bill, just like the one they passed last year to forcibly inoculate your children without your knowledge. I mean, that is